today, the main focus is on what a real copywriter does, what a real copywriter spends his or her time doing so that they can make the maximum impact, the maximum sales and conversions for themselves and for their clients, so their clients keep coming back and paying high value, high ticket programs for their delivery. And so you can actually dial the skill set to become a master in your niche and in your position, and being able to develop the hooks and angles. And when you don't do this, you don't make any money, you don't land new clients, you don't have them coming back. And it's a really bad place for new copywriters or experienced copywriters to be in alike. And so that's what I'm going to share with you in this video, and that's why it's so important that you focus on what a real copywriter does so you don't get caught up in the minutia. So make sure that you like and smash and obliterate the like button for this algorithm on YouTube, and also just subscribe if you think this is valuable as well. Hey, what's up, Motive in Motion family? It's your boy Evan from Motive in Motion. I know it's been a long time since I've created some new content, some new videos on my YouTube channel, but as you can imagine, I've been very busy. I'm coming at you from Bali, Indonesia, in my private villa. Been here for about 6 months, just kind of enjoying the vibes and the weather and working, you know, traveling, doing my thing, reading, catching up on my skill set. But basically, really had to put in some work there for a while because I really wanted to get it to the next level, and I wanted to get to the point where I was consistently landing high value, high paying, and high quality clients. I do enjoy these videos, but they just take a good amount of time. Have a lot of new insights to show you. You know, I've been really dialing into my skill set. The main thing that I'm after is mastery and momentum. And that actually motivates me over anything else. It's really the freedom to travel, the freedom to do my thing, make money in my sleep. But I really am motivated by moving forward and getting momentous processes that are working very efficiently as a business. And so that is basically what I've been working on, where I'm systemizing my lead generation, and where I'm systemizing my conversions for new clients, where I'm systemizing the skill set and delivery for when I'm consulting with clients, whether it be e-commerce or consulting business or agencies or whoever and what have you. So I hope you can understand that. I hope you know what I'm talking about. And if you're really, if you're really in the game, you're really building a business, you know what it takes to actually focus on the results. So essentially, let's just break this down, because when you're talking about a real copywriter, and what I mean by this is someone who is a real sales copywriter focused on direct response marketing and not focusing on blogging or content or social media or whatnot, and I'm not knocking those hustles. I'm saying that the main real direct response focus is getting the people to the target that you're targeting, obviously, to get a direct response to you, whether it's a sale, whether it's an ad click, whether it's an email open, whether it's a phone call, whether it is a direct response in any way, shape, or form to an ad or a conversion piece that you put out into the market. And you're kind of reeling in fish in a certain way, right? You are seeing what is responding to your offer, what messaging is actually working, what client tonality or messaging in either your recording voice or your script that you're writing for a client, or maybe your advertising that it's a direct response from Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, or offline in the direct mail world. That is what I mean by real direct response copywriter. The content is nurturing, or it's engaging to the audience, but it's not asking for anything. It's not really asking for a response. It's not asking for a phone call for someone to call for a toll-free number where you have salespeople on dial, or it's not really asking you to click the link so you can go up and qualify yourself through a form. It's not asking for a sale directly on a product page in e-commerce or a landing page to opt in. It's none of that. It's just saying, here we are, here's what we do, here's some of our content, and it can be immensely valuable for the right person. But it's not direct response, and that's okay, like I said. But the point is, for a real direct response copywriter, you have mainly one priority to be working on, and that is, before you start writing, your 75-25 approach, or 80-20 approach, if you will. 80% or more perhaps is actually focused on the targeting. It's focused on the research in the market. It's focusing on the tonality that you will approach your market with, your pre-recorded sales message, your selling over the phone in your conversion process, your strategy, or the messaging that the brand already has, so you can proliferate that and develop it a line further than what they have, or the strategy for your hooks, your angles, your unique vertical positioning that you're going to have in your specific vertical or your industry. And this is 80% of a copywriter's work right here. And I know that people think copywriter is a copywriter. You just write copy. You sit down at a computer, strategize a little bit, maybe you brainstorm whatever, you have some new ideas, and then you just write. But this could not be further from the truth, because in my personal copywriting experience, every single time that I have a new copywriting client come into my funnel or my lead gen, I am focused on giving them the maximum value, which means actually understanding who they're targeting. What are their pain points? What keeps them up at night? What do they love to do? What are they so frustrated at that they just feel sick to the stomach and they can't take another day off? These are the types of things that you will understand and research and speak to the market, ideally, if you can, and find out why they are in the position, how to get them out of it, and how to ethically move them off the fence, knock them off of the fence of their own indecision where they're teeter-tottering on that, and get them to make a decision that will ultimately benefit their life. This is the prerogative, the number one priority of a real direct response copywriter. This is what you should be spending 75, 80, 85% of your time doing. And I'm not saying get the project from the client, close them, and then deliver, and then just sit in front of your computer and just try to figure out, okay, what do I need to do? What should I strategize with them? Like, I don't know, I have no idea where I should go, and just kind of waste time. That's not productive. I'm talking about sitting down and actually getting deep into the market's psychology. We call this psychographics. This research is why customers are buying, where they're coming from, what are their pain points, what's their hell that they're experiencing, and their desired heaven that they're trying to go to. It's very simple, but it actually gets very nuanced when you're in the thick of it. And this is why you should spend 80% of your time focusing on the real direct response copywriter's number one priority, which is research and understanding. You're trying to envelop yourself in the market. You're trying to put your mind and your heart inside the markets and really understand where they're coming from and why they're dealing with this painful issue. And more of that has how basically that bleeds out into the rest of their experience in life. You know, let's say I have a problem where I'm not fighting off the common cold symptoms that could pop up in my life, and that's the problem. I don't know that, but I just know that I'm dealing with this problem, and it's annoying, and it sucks because I get sick every, I don't know. I honestly feel I hardly ever get sick because I'm pretty on point with nutrition and exercise, but I get inside the point of these people's actual mindset. So let's say I'm someone who gets sick maybe once a month or so, right? And I don't know what's going on, I don't know why, but I'm experiencing these symptoms. And it's really annoying and it's really painful because being sick sucks, and maybe your stomach hurts, maybe you have a raspy throat, sore throat, or headache, and you're just experiencing those and you're in that moment. Okay, well that's a pretty, surface level approach, right? You feel that, sucks, blah, 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 right? You know the problem, you don't really know the solution. Maybe you're problem aware. You go deeper and see how that bleeds into different areas. Well, it's like, okay, you maybe your family has a similar genetic line. Obviously they do. I mean, maybe you have a similar genetic response to some sort of diseases or whatever, like being low in zinc or being low in vitamin C or whatever it may be, or having a deficient white or red blood cell count, or having having a lot of free radicals, and so you can't actually fight these diseases and the little symptoms that are coming up as they do. So you have a symptom, you give it to your brother, wife, spouse, whatever, and that happens, and it's really annoying for them, and they kind of like hold a resentment for you, right? And that's some type of emotional disconnect between yourself and the brother or the sister or the mom or dad or uncle that you give this thing to, and then they're like, well, kind of holding a little bit of resentment to you. What does that cause you to do? Basically just causing you to lose status and value in the life and the eyes of those people that love you, which is part of the worst thing that happens when you get your family sick, right? And it's a subtle thing, and it doesn't actually come up very verbally, because they're not going to say, hey, you just lost status in my eyes because you keep getting me sick and you're so, you're running your nose and blowing your nose in everywhere and it's gross, right? They're not going to say that to you. They're going to be supportive and whatnot, but that would be another next level psychographic of the reason of why people are thinking what they are thinking and what they're feeling, why they're feeling what they're feeling, rather than them telling you this. And this is actually called one of those unspoken desires, needs, or pain points. And these are the things that actually nobody speaks about because they're unspoken, but they are so relevant in your prospect's life, and you go deeper and deeper and deeper to dig into how this cascades and bleeds into other areas of your prospect's problem. And this is what a real copywriter does. This is the number one priority of a direct response copywriter, because the deeper that you can get into those annoying or painful or pissing you off moments that the prospect is having, the better and better that you can get into their brain, into their mind, into their heart, and into their family and friends situation and circle to be able to sell or write something that will sell the solution to that problem. And I cannot emphasize this enough because it's so powerful. And so that is the summary to basically what your number one response is, number one priority, number one solution for these prospects and clients is, because the more that you can do that, I use the trivial example with health and wellness. I mean, health is important, right? Obviously, but having a cold every once in a while or whatever isn't the most painful thing. There's people with erectile dysfunction. There's people with low confidence. There's people who can't pick up, the opposite sex. They cannot speak to another human being of the opposite sex because their communication is so weak and they lack confidence, right? These are very painful issues, and they go deep into the emotions of someone. And those emotions that manifest are what make people buy and what make people pull out their wallets and their credit cards and hand you money, because they're so sick of the issue that they've been dealing with for years, months, who knows. And they're not speaking the specific desires that they have to get rid of it, but you won't be able to ever judge at face value how much of an impact that's had on their life. And I cannot overemphasize that. So this is why I recommend you spend 80, maybe 75, maybe even more focusing on what your time value is in response to the process of delivering for a client, and of course being able to charge on that and being able to consult with them, and that's a whole other session of videos. But being able to spend that time of billable time, energy, and value that you are delivering your expertise to this client for, because your number one priority as a direct response copywriter is to deliver for your clients, make sure that you're making them ROI, making them more money that they invested into you back on the back end. And how you do that is getting inside the mind and the heart of your prospect, your ideal customer for this client. And you do that by spending 75 to 80% of your time researching, learning, soaking up, taking time to research everything for hours, and then go jump in the pool right here, go on a walk, go on your motorbike, drive around in the car, do whatever it is that you need to do, because when you're not working and consciously focus on it, your underlying subconscious is actually putting these pieces together, finding up new offers, new hooks, new angles. And as a seasoned veteran direct response copywriter, any of them will tell you this is what actually solidifies that plan into motion and puts those new hooks into your mind, where you can use them as soon as you start to draw on them with your conscious mind when you go back to the work. So that's my main focus on you for today, because I think that is the most vital thing that you can be working on as a direct response copywriter: researching, soaking up, learning, focus on the value. And when you do this, you can make a lot more money for yourself by showing clients what you do in the sales call and showing why you're valuable and how you can actually fix their annoying emotional issues, their painful, the personal hell that they're going through in their life and their business when cash flow is bleeding out and they can't make payroll and they're in 50K in debt or whatever, and their overhead is 100 grand or whatever, right? These are the things that you turn around and sell to them on the sales call as well. So once you sell a package for 5K, 10, 15K or whatever it may be, like I've done in the past from several of my clients, you're focusing on the needs that they have specifically, and then emotionally and logically making an airtight case for them to solve it. And it's the very same process that you go through when you research your client's client and who you're selling to when you're actually writing that copy. So much love to you guys. That's what I've got for you today. I know it's been a long time. I'm sure to come out with a little bit more consistent videos in the future, but I enjoy doing these videos. They just take a lot more time, but I've been focusing on systematizing my process, focusing on down on the 80-20 that I'm working on as well, dialing my skill set, working on my clients, and getting more and more clients at higher ticket value so I can also deliver them higher ticket values on the ROI scale. So yeah, that's what I got. If you have any questions, just post them down below. Got a lot more on motiveemotion.com, and I'm also coming out with a few case studies in the future that are going to be brand new and free for you to learn about how I actually devise these processes and strategize with clients and deliver for them on e-commerce, affiliate marketing, content, blogging, strategy, and consulting. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be on my main site, and if you have any questions, post them down below, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.